Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down what is the best M4 class. In order to do that, we have to take a look at a couple of the attachments as well as comparing the custom Corvus marksman barrel directly to the M16 barrel and basically breaking down what is the biggest difference between the two. They're a little bit different in a couple of ways, so we're going to break it down in today's video. We're going to take a look at 3 different class setups that I 100% recommend, as well as 3 to 4 different attachments that you guys can add to kind of change the way your recoil pattern works, your aim down sight, your mobility works. Because the biggest thing I've learned is the difference in what is your specific class type is whether you want the fastest mobility as far as movement speed and aim down sight time, or you want the best recoil pattern, the best idle sway to hit your shots at long range to help you with your overall accuracy. Those are the 3 class setups we're going to be going over in today's video. Breaking down the actual stats of them, like the movement speed, the aim down sight time, and as far as the difference between the actual 2 long barrels. So if you guys learn anything new in today's video, you guys want to leave a like, it'd be greatly appreciated. Right now in the month of April, 97% of you guys that watch my videos are not yet subscribed. If you guys want to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. So the first thing we're talking about, like I said, is the barrels, where you're comparing the custom marksman barrel to the M16 barrel, because they do have a pretty significant difference, which unless you actually test them, you would not know. So the M4 is pretty good for mobility. It's pretty average movement speed, but aim down sight's pretty fast for assault rifles. So with the custom Corvus marksman long barrel, you're going to get a 3% slower movement speed, only a 10% slower aim down sight time, and only about 30% more range. So the range increase is on the lower end for long barrels for assault rifles. Aim down sight time is very slow for assault rifles, as far as is not a big negative at all, and the movement speed is pretty average. The M16 long barrel is going to give you about 5% slower movement speed, a 25% slower aim down sight time, which is huge, and 40% more range. The 40% more range is pretty average, if not good, for assault rifles for long barrels, but the movement speed and the aim down sight time is on the extreme lower end. The aim down sight time is probably the biggest negative about the M16 barrel. So the biggest thing I want to state in the beginning of the video is, as far as the factor of what I noticed in the recoil pattern, the difference between the 2 barrels, and is there actually a difference in the recoil? Because if you actually change the barrels in the game and you put the custom Corvus on, your range is going to go down, your accuracy is going to go down by a little bit, and your mobility is going to go up in the actual in-game, where it shows the accuracy damage stuff. In my testing of this, which you guys can see on the screen, so what I did is I did a recoil test, putting the 5 best attachments on. The 5th attachment I used on the left was with the rubberized grip. You guys can see the M16 barrel on the left, the custom Corvus on the right, and then the 2 on the right is going to be with the tack laser. So you guys can see, once again, M16 on the left, custom Corvus on the right. You guys can see, even adding a rubberized grip, even adding a tack laser, the recoil pattern doesn't change. And that is the #1 thing I want to mention in the front, is I put the rubberized, I've put Ranger, I've put Commander, I've put Tact, I've put every grip in the game on the M4, and I don't know if it's just because the M16 barrel just outweighs it that much, but the recoil pattern never changed. As far as the vertical recoil pattern, didn't change much, and as far as the stability, any kind of pull left and right didn't change at all. So you can basically run anything on your favorite class setup and it will still be good. But like I said, the aim down sight time is the biggest negative about the M16 barrel. The range you get is pretty nice, 10% more, but in reality it's anywhere between 2 and 4 meters at close, mid, and long range. So you 100% will not notice the range increase. So the 2 class setups we're going to be comparing, you guys can see on the screen now, we have the exact same class setup on both guns. We have the rubberized grip, which only helps at medium and long range, which I'm a slower player in Warzone. A lot of my fights are between medium and long range, not really too much up close. But the rubberized grip, in my experience, stacked with the M16 barrel, gives you basically no recoil at long range. So we have the Commando foregrip with the rubberized grip, using the 50-round mag, the monolith suppressor, and then obviously the custom Corvus marksman barrel. It's going to give you only a 6% slower movement, only a 20% slower aim down sight time, and then that's obviously going to give you a 300 millisecond aim down sight time with 89% movement speed. The movement speed's on the lower end. That's probably the biggest negative about the M4, is it's a little on the lower end for movement speed already, and then a lot of the attachments obviously negate that. So you're basically going to compare that to the M16 class. The difference on the M16 class is obviously just the barrel. You're going to get a 8% slower movement, so it moves 2% slower, but your aim down sight time is 15% slower than that of the custom Corvus marksman barrel. So to move 2% slower and aim down sight 15% slower for only 10% more range. And once again, like I said, you notice no difference in the overall recoil pattern. So the attachments that I end up switching up, I'm once again testing. Like I said, the recoil pattern doesn't change, which one of the weirdest things to note here is the no stock attachment. For some reason, made my stability, like what the commando foregrip helps with, really good on this gun, like a lot better than the other attachments. It says it makes the recoil pattern worse and the obviously the idle sway worse, but what I found is it actually made my stability better. So the class that I'm going to be recommending, if you guys like the M16, it's obviously the commando foregrip, the 60 round mag this time because we're running the no stock, the M16, the monolith suppressor, and the no stock. So what that's going to do is give you the exact same stats of the custom Corvus marksman barrel. You're going to get a little bit worse of vertical recoil as far as the overall how much it's going to kick up in the sky, but it does have a better recoil pattern by just a little bit, in my opinion. So it's going to give you the exact same stats with the custom Corvus marksman barrel. You're going to get the 6% slower movement, 20% slower aim down sight. Obviously, you're going to get 10 extra bullets, and you're going to get 10% more range. So this is the class setup after all of my testing, all my experience of using it. This is the class setup I 100% recommend. I have been using the M16, and at long range, I have noticed a little bit better recoil pattern, which I think is the one thing you'll notice the difference of. So talking about, obviously, the attachments, there's one other attachment I recommend, which is obviously the tack laser. You could stack that with a different attachment. Like, let's say if you take off the monolith suppressor, put the tack laser on there, you're going to get a 50% faster ADS, better walking steadiness. With the better walking steadiness, obviously what that helps with is if you're using the default reticle, and obviously your idle sway is going to get chunked down basically to 0. So it's an excellent attachment. The rubberized grip, in my experience, in my testing, only helps at medium to long range. It 100% helps in that long range distance, though. But like I said, the recoil pattern is pretty much the same on any class setup you run with it. Besides, obviously, put the no stock, it's going to make your kick a little bit worse. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully, it does help you guys pick a different class setup. Like I said, I do recommend the no stock if you're stacking it with the M16 barrel, because M16 has a little bit better recoil control. Therefore, the no stock having a little bit worse. They kind of counter each other out, and that is the class that I've actually been running with recently, and I actually have found myself very, very much enjoying it. So hopefully this video does help you guys pick a better class setup. Hopefully you guys learned something new, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.